What is going on, everybody? On today's show, Jason Lee spills the tea on Karen Civil, Debra Messing has some shade for Kim K, and R. Kelly's lawyers compare him to MLK. Plus, we have Gizelle Bryant of the Real Housewives of Potomac, all right here, so stay tuned because you're watching Danyol Jaye Show. The melanin bill been paid. What's going on, everybody? It is the premiere of the Danyol Jaye Show, and I am ready to rock it with you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Shout out to Pyro Media Network for their amazing production value. If you want to know more about the production value, you can head over to pyromedianetwork.com. But we're going to get into Dish the Deets, honey. I got a lot to talk about. Make sure that if you feel like being special, if you feel like you want to be kind and want to be giving, you can donate to the Danyol Jaye Show by simply sending all money to the Cash App, which is the $ and Danyol Jaye. But let's get into what we have on the docket, honey. So apparently, if you haven't heard, if you don't know who Karen Civil is, so there has been some huge conversations regarding Karen Civil, who is apparently somebody in the industry, and she has been proclaiming to be like a PR person and all this kind of stuff. And she came under fire from saying that she basically stole about $60,000 from Joyner Lucas, who is an up-and-coming a musical artist, a rap artist, I do believe. But other people have since then come out and said, nah, she ain't who she said she is. She stole money from me. She's shady. She full of shit. And so Jason Lee has this morning went on the Breakfast Club to kind of spill some tea regarding Karen Civil. Now, yeah, I don't know if you're on Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse. When I tell you a few days ago, Clubhouse was shut down, there were about 8,000 people in this room. Keita, who is a manager, she's also a huge person in the Crenshaw district. She's worked with Nipsey Hussle. She's really well known in the community. She started this room, and you had all kinds of celebrities in here basically taking Karen's ass to task about, girl, where the money? You say that you did the job, but where the money, girl? Where the money go? And so Jason Lee was in this Clubhouse call. And, you know, there has been a long history between Jason Lee and Karen Civil. She is apparently the reason why his Hollywood Unlocked Instagram page got shut down, because the girl hired a goddamn underage hacker who was aspiring to get into the music industry. And she said, look, if you do this thing for me, I will make sure that you get into the faces of the people that you need to see to make your career happen. Here's $20,000. All I need you to do is shut this shit down. Well, Jason Lee talks about it all on the Breakfast Club. He talked about how the brother of the hacker reached out to him and said, yo, I know who shut down your page, this, that, and the other. And so there has been a long-standing history between him and Karen. And apparently he is out for blood. He is out to sue her to make sure that she goes to jail for life for all of the things, all of the shady workings that she has basically admitted to when she was on the Clubhouse call. Now, there were several overflow rooms on Clubhouse that day. I was in some of the overflow rooms. I finally got into the main room, which I was like, thank God. And she was on the stage, and she admitted to some of the shady shit that she had done. And people were still giving this girl a pass. Now, I know we as black folks, we always want to give other black folks a pass, even when they do some shady shit, because, you know, the world is against us. But now, come on, when you're fucking with my money, okay, when you come for my coin, I got problems with you, child. Now, people want to blame the manager and say, you know, the manager's probably in on it, and that, you know, Joyner Lucas probably shouldn't have given her this money, that he should have had a bigger handle on his manager and what his manager was doing in regards to giving her this money to do whatever the fuck she was supposed to do with it. But I feel like at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people in that Clubhouse call said, this is how the business works. This is the music industry. You know, sometimes you have receipts for things, sometimes you don't, because money exchanges hands. And I'm like, why don't y'all just admit that y'all handle business the hood way? Okay? You walk up with a suitcase full of fucking money and you say, yo, I need a job done. Go do it. Here's the money. Just make sure it don't get traced back to me. I mean, we see it all the time on TV. So what's the difference? But I will say, Karen, listen here, baby. I don't know how civil you fucking have to be. But at some point, on some level, in some courtroom, you're going to have to tell the people where the fuck this money went and what you did with it, baby. Because the way that Jason was talking on the Breakfast Club, he coming for you. And he been coming for you for quite a long time. But we're moving right along. In other news, a lot of us have been seeing on our timelines this crisis in regards to the Haitian immigration fiasco. We have about 80 immigrants from Haiti that have been trying to get into the U.S. via Texas. And some photos have come to light on the internet where there have been Border Patrol on horses with these long ass whips, basically whipping these people back into the ocean, wrangling them up, you know, putting them in what I'm gonna call them concentration camps. You can call them what the fuck you want to call them. But this is not new. This is not new. The imagery obviously is triggering because we've seen this before. It happened in slavery. Like, we've seen this before. I have been online and I've been on some other podcasts talking about this issue. And, you know, I do have an unpopular opinion regarding it. And the unpopular opinion does go out to my Black community. You know, I love my Black community. But I feel like a lot of Black folks are now speaking about immigration because the Haitians look like them. And let's not forget that immigration has always been an issue. Just not long ago, we had an administration that was literally ripping kids from their parents, putting them in basic prisons. Basically, these children were being starved. These children were dying, but they were of Latin descent. And so I feel like part of my frustration is, how come we only gather together to address things when the people look like us? Okay. Now, when it was, you know, Mexicans and Guatemalans and people from Latin America, you know, a lot of people were silent as shit on my timeline. Not a lot of people that I knew, okay, said a lot of shit. Now, all of a sudden, it's people from Haiti. Now y'all got voices. Now you want to talk about immigration laws and shit. Well, I got issues with you. But at the end of the day, these are human beings, and they are seeking refuge from a country that is well known to be very dangerous. Okay, a lot of trauma has happened in Haiti, and they're trying to find refuge. And, you know, whether it's true or not, it has always been promoted and propaganda that if you are seeking asylum, if you are seeking refuge, that America is a place to do it. So to see these images of people literally being wrangled like cattle and being treated less than a human being, is it news to us? No. Is it still fucking heartbreaking? Absolutely. And as far as Biden and Harris and their response to this, talking about, you know, and the administration talking about how we're just going to send them back to Haiti, you know, 80 to a plane. If we got to send 5 to 8 planes a day, we're going to send them back. America should be ashamed of ourselves, you know, and I never understood how the fuck you tell people to go back to where the fuck they came from. And the ones running the country, y'all don't belong here neither. I'm just saying, we're on stolen land. The people who the land belong to don't have the control, and the people that you stole and brought over here to work the land don't have control, but you want to tell somebody to go back. You brought us here and brought your ass over here. But you know what? That's a whole nother something else. Debra Messing, honey, she is making news because she says that Why is Kim Kardashian hosting the fucking Saturday Night Live? She don't understand it. She said usually people who are hosting Saturday Night Live are people that got shit going on. They're entertainers. They got an album. They got a movie. They got a new TV show. They're funny. Hello, they're comedians. I mean, I don't know, just something funny. She went on to say she didn't understand. She's always wanted to be on SNL. She's always wanted to be a host, and to see Elon Musk on there was kind of like a dig to her. And people are coming for her. Okay, people are coming for her. They are coming for her. Come on, no, I'm saying not the man. Heather Starley says she just got a booty. Come on. Lucid Clip says they can't help the people that live in America as it is. Child, yes, these are all true things. So a lot of people are coming for Debra because they feel like she's coming for Kim K. But at the end of the day, Debra got a fucking point. Now, there are people saying that SNL is not the same as it used to be. It's not the same as it was. Which, okay, I can get that. But are we just looking for people who are popular? Like, aren't we looking for people that are popular and still fucking have talent? I still don't know what the hell Kim K do. Now, y'all can say that she freed the black women and the prison people and all of that. That's fine. Her daddy was a lawyer. She tried to go in to be a lawyer. Then that's what the fuck you do. But, girl, because we're not going to talk about her, I want to be black, just put me in black fabric, Met Gala look. Okay? You talk about a bitch that's trying to be black so bad. She just said, wrap me in black fabric, and that's about as close to black as I'm going to get. But big ups to Debra, bitch, because I feel the same way. What the fuck Kim K got going on that she got to be on the fucking SNL show? Okay, go do the fashions and the stuff and pump more shit in your booty. I don't want to see you on SNL. Now, this one right here is going to take people just aback just a little bit, okay? Closing arguments have begun in regards to, and I hate to fucking say his name. I even hate to even put this on my show because I don't like his ass. But Robert Kelly's case, okay, with him, grooming on, raping all these fucking women and men and other people, his attorney had some closing arguments. And in these closing arguments, she compared Robert Kelly to Martin Luther the King Jr. And apparently, she made the comparison. I'm trying to find the article because I had it pulled up. She's basically trying to say that, and mind you, she quoted Dr. King's speech in her closing argument, which, bitch, you tried it. You tried it. Every ancestor should have rose up and smacked the shit out of your ass right there in the courtroom. Let me see. I'm trying to go to my notes, honey. Trying to go to my notes. It says, closing arguments are going down Thursday in the federal court in Brooklyn, New York, and defense attorney Deborah Messing drew the comparison by telling the jury Kelly is demanding prosecutors prove he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, the same way Dr. King fought for constitutional rights. She went on to quote a part of MLK's "I've been to the mountaintop" speech, declaring, "Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of the press." Her point seemed to be that Dr. King wanted the government to uphold the Constitution, and Kelly's doing the same in his fucking sex crimes trial. Y'all have fun with that on Twitter, because all I have to say is lickety split, lock that bitch up. That's all I got to say. I don't play his music. I don't dance to his music. I try not to fucking say his name because he's disgusting. Does it take away from his talent? No, but fuck him as a person, okay? That's all I have to say about that. And we have definitely more show going on. If you have news or things that you think that we need to be discussing on the Danyol Jaye Show, please hit me up on my social medias. You can find me on all social media at Danyol Jaye. Also, again, if you want to be kind, if you want to send a little donation, honey, send that shit to my Cash App. $ Danyol Jaye, be a good Samaritan, send me some good. I'll give you all your credit and your thanks. Hallelujah, praise God, because we need the money to help the show keep what? Going! We just started, okay? We just started this bitch. We got to keep it going. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to get into the interview that I did earlier today with the wonderful Gizelle Bryant. I know a lot of y'all don't like her, but you know what? That's not my fucking business. The interview was fabulous. Watch this commercial break, and we'll be back with more of the Danyol Jaye Show. And we are back. You are tuning into the Danyol Jaye Show. So earlier today, I had the wonderful pleasure of sitting with Gizelle Bryant from the Real Housewives of Potomac and interviewing her about the show, about her business endeavors, about her life as a mom. Now, again, I know a lot of people love to hate her and a lot of people hate to love her, but we can't deny that she is an amazing individual. So what you're going to see right now is a pre-recorded interview that occurred earlier today. So hope you enjoy. From first lady to single mom, from entrepreneur to reality TV star, she has gathered a following of people who love to hate her and who hate to love her, honey. She has given us beauty with every hue beauty. She has given us author with her novel, her 2019 novel, My Word. She's giving you lashes with a gorgeous collection in collaboration with Declux Beauty or Declux Lashes. Honey, she's got opinions she's not afraid to share. She's got moments that she's not afraid to expose. And she does it with a gleam and a smile. But in all that she does, she will always be the queen of Potomac Shade. So without further ado, everybody, let's give it up for Gizelle Bryant.
Hey.
What's going on, Miss Gizelle?
Listen, I'm so happy to be here, number one. Number two, I just want to say congratulations to you. You know, you have been like a secret that I've tried to keep to myself because I just love like watching your videos and all that you do. So I am just as excited as you might be for me to be here because I just want to like hang out and chit chat with you.
I mean, you know, from the very first moment that I saw you on Real Housewives of Potomac, I said, okay, she feels like a girl that I could definitely hang out with. And then the shade came. And then I said, oh, well, she still feels like the girl I can hang out with, but I might have to be a little careful with what I share because she's liable to bring it up at any moment. But thank you so much for being here. I am definitely excited to have you. And I got a lot of stuff that the people want to know, honey. Ever since the promo went out for this episode, the questions have come, the comments have come.
Okay.
And I know you're a girl who knows how to handle her business and you know how to handle your own, period.
Yes.
So I'm
Let's get into it.
But first, I want to talk about you as an entrepreneur. So we know Real Housewives of Potomac is a thing that most people might know you from, and we'll get to that, promise. But tell me about Every Hue Beauty. Is that still going on? I know that was a huge launch for you on the show, and it was in stores. People were buying it. It was doing really well. And then we kind of didn't hear about it anymore. Like, did you sell the business? Is it in transition? What's happening with Every Hue?
Okay, good question, because people still ask me about Every Hue, and I thought I told the people, but they weren't listening. So during the pandemic, our manufacturer shut down, like everything else shut down for like a month, and it was 2 months, and then I don't know where these people are. I think they moved back to India. I don't know. They were in Jersey, but they shut down, and they had all of our formulations. They had all of our, we have to get things FDA approved. They had all of our approval certificates. And because we were still in the pandemic and this was happening, I got extremely discouraged. I was upset. I was like, you know what? Let me just put Every Hue on pause. And if and when I decide to come back to it, I will. If and when I will. But when I
do, because Every Hue was cute. Okay, like, I purchased some Every Hue beauty products, and I was like, okay, wait a minute.
Yes. Well, I think I'm definitely going to jump back into the beauty space because like that's my space. That's my lane. I love it. I'm a beauty girl. But I think I might do other things like skincare and things like that. But, Every Hue, it'll be Every Hue like 2.0. Like I have to revamp and revitalize.
Okay. So for those of you who were not listening, you heard it here. Okay. Things happened. People ran off with formulations. We need to revamp. But Every Hue will be back, and possibly with other products, not just makeup, skincare. I would love a skincare line from you. I think one of the things that people really kind of applaud you on and dote on you on is your skin. Like you always look amazing on camera.
Thank you. And
I haven't seen a photo yet where it's like, oh, her skin look bad.
Well, and the camera, TV is nobody's friend. Like HD TV will get all up in the crevices. So
Everywhere.
I know I have to take good care of my skin. I have to. So yeah, I think a skincare line is in order.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your gorgeous collection, the lashes. How did you get into that? Did Declux approach you? Did you approach them?
Yes. So Declux Beauty is owned by my makeup artist, Carly Styles. And she lashes is how I met her. So she's been doing my makeup for about, I don't know, 3-4 years. And so she does like all of my confessional looks. She does the reunion. She does, you know, pretty much everything. Chat room, every look for chat room, that's definitely her. And I love lashes. I love, you know, the fact that I had these green eyes has always been a plus. And I've really been trying to find a lash that I love. So, you know, because you wear lashes, like the band is wrong, or it's too thick, or the lashes are spread out too much. You know, it's always something. So I was like, it took me a very long time to come out with a lash that I love.
My mother, when she was younger, she was a lash queen. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not get into lashes until I became a beauty tech for Benefit Cosmetics. And my boss was like, you have to apply these lashes on this client. And I looked at her like, I ain't never done that before. Like, I didn't know nothing about cutting lashes. I know nothing.
Yes.
And then I started wearing them. I was like, you know, some of them be cute and then some of them don't. And then you try to take them off and then they pull your lash. I said, look here, I don't know about that. And then they got magnetic lashes. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like them. I don't like them.
I don't know how I feel about a magnet on my lash. Like,
right. And when you go to take them things off, them jokers off, your lashes is gone. So I've had troubles with those. I don't like those.
Well, just one of the things I want to ask you is, because we see you on the show, we see you on social media. We now can hear you on and see you on Reasonably Shady. Congratulations to that podcast with you and Robin Dixon. By the way, I was listening to the latest episode driving home. Y'all are hilarious. And then you called the Met Gala a pajama party. I said, who comes up with these lines? Who comes up with it? But one of the things that I really enjoy about watching you on the show is that you do tend to always have this upbeat personality. And one of the things I want to ask you, what inspires you to do what it is that you do?
On the show or on just life?
Period. When you wake up and you say, you know what, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
What pushes you forward to do that?
So like I have a regimen that I pretty much follow like daily, which is, you know, I get up, say my prayers, thank you, Jesus, get them kids up and ready. And then I go to the gym. So that's like my outlet, right? And that's when I get my mind together for my life and for my plans.
I break out in hives when people mention the gym, but it's
yes, but and it's not necessarily I'm in there to have this like wonderful body. I'm in there to get my mind right. That's like my space where I can think, where I can talk to Jesus if I need to, where stuff just comes to me at the gym. And that's my peace, right? And so because I have my peace, I can do everything that I can do. I can get up in front of a camera and read these holes to filth, or I can be very nice, or I can be reasonably, do reasonably shady and have fun. I can do chat room. I can do everything because in the mornings I get my peace.
And you are a mother of 3 beautiful girls.
Yes.
How has that been based in essentially raising them on camera? Because when they first got on, I mean, they were babies.
Yeah.
To the viewers, they were babies.
Yes.
And they're driving, they're going out, they're wearing makeup, they're going off to college. I said, who are these women? So how is it raising your girls in front of a camera?
That Grace, she gonna have that face beat. Okay, that makeup is gonna be on Grace's face, child. I'm like, Grace, okay. It's been there's ups and downs, there's highs and lows with it. I don't let them, they watch it anyway, but I don't let them watch the show outside of their scenes because I feel like it's adult content. It is their mother in a whole nother space, and they don't necessarily need that. Now, their friends are sending them screenshots and pictures and clips, but that's fine. And I started by telling them day one, this is a whole new world. People gonna like your mom. People gonna hate your mom. But y'all know your mom. So I won't do this if y'all won't let me. And they were like, TV? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much fun. Yes, TV. So they, I've been very honest with them the whole time. Like, this is my job. And they see it that way. So they don't get overly excited about it. They're not spoiled about it. They don't think that they're so important because they're on TV. No, this is what mommy does.
Okay. Now, it's no secret you are the ex-wife to mega preacher, Mr. Jamal Bryant.
Yes.
Being married to Jamal, being a first lady, did that kind of publicity, notoriety, did that prep you for what you experienced getting into reality television, or was reality TV for you just like a complete culture shock?
Well, let me answer it this way. One, I never had aspirations to be on reality television. Like, that was never my thing. Like, ooh, this is what I want to do. It just happened. And the ball fell in my lap and I picked it up and I ran with it. Now, being a first lady, does that equip you for reality television? Yes, it does.
You were a first lady at the little corner church down the street. Like, you were the first lady to a mega church. Like,
yes.
Thousands of people knew who you were.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I am used to a spotlight to some degree. I'm used to public scrutiny. I'm used to people coming at me. I love me a good church lady. I love the shade that they give, because I'm always listening, because I'm like, I'm going to write that down because that was good. And I'm going to use that. So does the Black church prepare you for an entryway to reality television? I mean, yeah. I mean, it helped me. It gave me my foundation, so to speak. There's nothing that these ladies that I'm on this show with can say to me that I will care or blink 3 times about, because I didn't heard it all, been called it all. I'm used to it.
Well, being that you did mention the ladies, I want to get into your relationship with some of these ladies, because this season of the show has been quite interesting. And I want to say, I have to give a shout out to Bravo's production, because they put together a little piece where, when you were talking to Karen and telling Karen, like, I've apologized to you hundreds of times, and then they played all the times you apologize for something. But I know since I posted the promo and people knew that you were coming on the show, I got a lot of questions from people, and I kind of want to get into some of those questions. And of course, it involves some of the ladies, and Karen was numero uno on the list, and people want to know, what is up with you and Karen? Like, when you guys came on season 1, it just seemed like y'all had been lifelong friends, and then we saw it go from sugar to shit over time. And people feel like Karen tries extra hard to be mad at you, even though we feel as viewers, low key, she really want to be your bestie. So what's the relationship with Karen currently, and how has the show affected that overall?
Oh, the show has totally affected it, because she cares what the viewers think and say, right? Y'all know I don't give 2 rats about what anybody has to say about me. I don't care. And I'm never going to allow what you guys say about me to change what I'm going to do, right? I'm not going to edit myself as it relates to what the commentary that y'all give to Gizelle. However, Karen is not the same person. She doesn't have the same mindset. She really gets into what people have to say. And if a bunch of viewers are like, oh, can't tell her off, then she'll just make up something to like scream at me about. And I'm like, girl, it's not even believable. So it's like, today we're fine. Lord only knows what's going to happen. We haven't filmed the reunion yet. Lord only knows what she's going to come up with at the reunion. But, your whole persona on a show can't be another person. Her whole thing is Gizelle, and let me just say all of these crazy things about her. And that's not, at some point in time, it gets old. And I'm bored with it, to be quite honest. And I do like fun Karen. Like, Karen is a good time when she's having a good time.
One of the things that I've spoken to a lot of different reality folks that have been on TV, watched a lot of interviews. And one of the things that comes up all the time is that it is, at the end of the day, a produced show. It's an entertainment show.
Yeah.
And Tammy Roman was on Amanda Seales' podcast recently, and she kind of divulged a huge scene that happened on her show, Basketball Wives, with a fellow cast member, Evelyn Lozada, that to this day, people still talk about. And Tammy was like, that scene was fake. Like,
wait, which scene? I didn't see which scene.
It was a scene where she walks into Evelyn's store and threatens to sue her for the shirts that Evelyn made.
Oh yeah.
Evelyn takes it and rips it up.
Yeah.
And Tammy was like, that was planned. Like, she said, knowing me, do you think that I would honestly let somebody take my paper and rip it up? She said, after that scene, we went and had drinks. So my question to you, with being on Bravo, being on the Housewives of Potomac, obviously different networks, different types of shows, but are there moments that the producers try to create that some of these ladies fall into, or is everything that we're seeing natural reaction?
90% is natural reaction. Because you have to understand, we have some vets, we have myself, Karen, Robin, Ashley. So I know how to push their buttons if I need to, right? But then we got some new people that don't understand what we're doing right now. Y'all are clueless. So, they get really, really angry about certain things. And you have to understand, when these ladies come on, they're really trying to create a persona. And so in creating a persona that no one's going to believe anyway, they're trying to produce what people say to them, and they're trying to produce themselves. And it always backfires because they always look crazy. So I want to say that we've never gotten to a place as a show that we need to kind of create things. It's just naturally happening. I mean, you have to keep in mind, we have a Michael Darby, Lord only knows where it's going to come out of his mouth. We got, we have Karen, she's always talking sideways and crazy. We have Candace, who cannot keep the low blows. Like, if she has low blows that we're like, girl, time out, stop. So that's really Candace. We don't have to
about Candace. I was struggling whether or not to ask this question because it leads to other things. Yes. But number one, we always see Candace crying. And if you tell Candace what I said, she probably needs to invest into a tissue line that has little inspirational quotes on it, because she's crying and poking the corner of her eye in every episode. But my question about Candace is, a season ago, when we had the whole Monique debacle, it felt, a lot of the viewers felt like the cast went really hard on Monique and did not hold Candace accountable to her mouth. Now, I don't think anybody necessarily agrees that it should have gotten physical, but do you feel like there was more leniency towards Candace because in that moment she was liked?
No, you all did not see that tussle, drag nation moment in totality. So if you all would have seen it in totality, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It was a horrible, disgusting moment for our show and who and what we were trying to convey to the world. So no, I mean, whether I liked Candace, whether I hated Candace, no one deserved that. It was not cool.
I'll be honest. I completely understand we are watching an edited version.
Yes.
Goes on. We're watching like 2 minutes of what probably was like an hour to 2 hours of whatever.
Yes.
But from the clip that we did see, I feel like Candace and Monique were definitely having exchanges. They were both hitting below the belt.
Yeah.
But I feel like had Wendy's ass not come around Candace and reach across to separate them, I don't think either one of them would have put hands on each other. Because, when you're heated and you're in the moment, you're in an argument, any type of hand movement in your face, you don't know who it is, and I would go buck wild.
Okay, so no, I'm gonna have to say no. The person that was the perpetrator of that fight wanted to fight before she left her house that day. she wanted to do that. Okay. So Candace talks a good talk, but she don't want no smoke. Candace wants no smoke. She likes
so
to
why she do so much talking?
because
you can't honestly tell me, Gizelle, that if you talk all this mess, you don't get to police how people react. Regardless of how we feel about that reaction, you don't get to police it.
True.
And if Candace just guarded her mouth just a whole lot more.
Yes.
I just don't think that moment would have happened.
It would have happened. I'm telling you, she wanted it to happen. Okay. It would have happened. But let me just say this. Candace runs her mouth because she's good at it. Okay. But running your mouth and that equaling somebody putting hands on you. No. Now in the street, on the corner, in the hood, for sure. But that's not what we're doing. We got 8 cameras here, and we're just not those ladies. That's all I'm gonna say.
So let me say this: in regards to Monique, was your frustration, or whatever adjective we want to use, towards Monique, was it more so that you felt she should have had a little bit more restraint because cameras were present?
100%. 100%. If you want to beat her ass at her house with just you and her, go for it. Okay, go for it. But that's not what we're going to do on this show. We're not doing that. Like, I didn't sign up for that. Nobody signed up for that. Karen for damn sure ain't signed up for that, as crazy as she is. So, like, no. And it was scary. I
mean, I'm sure. I saw the table shake. I was like, but I will say I was one of those people. I was like, well, Candace, you kind of deserved to get dragged.
Okay. Let me say this. Candace deserve an ass whipping every now and again. Yes. But privately, okay? Just make
but off camera.
Yes.
Off camera. I want to ask about Wendy, because one of the things that I will honestly say annoyed me about Wendy her first season on was that she had so much to say about the Monique situation. And I felt like you're still new. And I feel this about any cast member that comes onto a show where we're just meeting them that first season. Like, you probably shouldn't have too much opinion about what the hell is going on because you're new to the group.
Right.
Wendy had a lot to say in regards to that fight, in regards to Monique's behavior. She called her aggressive. She called her, basically said that she was acting like a wild animal, this, that, and the other. Fast forward to New Titties and a New Ass, we see Wendy being at least verbally aggressive as she said that Monique was being. So anyone called her out on this hypocrisy?
Yes, I called her out all season, and it wasn't about, again, her new titties and her BBL, okay, that she didn't want to tell us about. She didn't want to tell us about the butt now. She was trying to hide that for whatever reason. But girl, we saw your SpongeBob SquarePants all first season, so we know you got your butt done, okay? So it was her change in personality. That was my whole issue with Wendy. The entire season. Like, girl, you're a whole different person. We didn't go on from Johns Hopkins, you're a professor, you got 14 degrees, to you don't know how to start a candle business. Lies you tell. Girl, stop a candle business? Like, really? And then coming from Mia, and it was just, Wendy, I don't know what Wendy's trying to do, but whatever she's trying to do, it ain't working. Okay.
Child, a hoot and a half Miss Bryant was, but we have more with Gizelle Bryant right after this commercial break. And we are back, and you are watching the Danyol Jaye Show on Pyro Media Network. Make sure that if you are a brand, if you are a content creator and you're looking to create a show, or you need help with brand management, you need help with brand strategy, you need help figuring this shit out, hit up Pyro Media Network. You can find them at pyromedianetwork.com, and you can follow them on Instagram at Pyro Media Network. Now, let's get into the rest of this fabulous interview with Gizelle Bryant of the Real Housewives of Potomac. One of the things that I have to ask about Wendy is the moment that happened in regards to the blog, because that was that. I feel that was a moment in the season, and I don't necessarily know, the season. I don't think the season is over, at least for us, for the viewers. I don't feel like it's done yet. But my question about it was, she got really upset about you and Ashley talking about this blog concerning her husband. For those of you who do not know, there was a blog out there claiming that her husband Eddie had an affair, possibly got a woman pregnant, and that could have been the reason for Wendy's, new friends. But one of the things that concerned, I felt like when you guys were on vacation or staycation, whatever it was, and she went off on you after the conversation with Ashley, I felt like it was too much. But people kind of sided with Wendy in that moment. You know what I'm saying? They felt like, well, Gizelle's being messy. She brought it up on the show because she wanted to be messy. And I can understand that, because I know that there are certain things that, folks bring up on camera because they're trying to push the envelope, make that a storyline and whatnot. However, my feeling about it was, regardless if the blog was true or not, regardless if you and Ashley were talking about it or not, I felt like, Wendy, this is your moment to be the grown woman, the professor that you've been proclaiming you are for the last season, and just address it as an adult woman. But that's not what we got. What are your thoughts about that? Like, why do you think she got so rah-rah reptar?
I think there's a couple things. One, she clearly had been, when she was screaming and yelling like that, now mind you, y'all saw an edited version, it was 5 times worse. That's why I was sitting there drinking my drink like, I'm not entertaining this, because y'all know I never entertain crazy. Once we didn't go into crazy, I checked out. I don't entertain it. But she was waiting for a moment to say all these things to me. She had rehearsed them. She had practiced them. She was ready. And it wasn't fitting. That wasn't the moment. Because Gizelle knows how to be messy. Y'all have seen that. I can do that well. And in talking about these rumors, it wasn't about being messy, because I could have said, I believe it. I think that's what he's doing. Blah, blah, blah. No, we all said, hey, this is out there. We don't believe it. But Wendy's changing. She's becoming this other person. She is, by her admission, insecure. And I and Ashley have been through social media drag nation. So we understand what that feels like and what that is. So we just want to check in with her to make sure she's okay. But after her reaction, I said, oh, hell no, we was never friends. Okay, you ain't my friend and I ain't yours. Because it was just, like you said, I was expecting her to be like, oh no, girl, that's not true. And yes, it's difficult sometimes when things are on social media that are not true to handle, but I'm just trying to get through it. That's all I thought it was going to be.
But I feel like we see this so often on reality TV. Like, we see the demure woman that comes in, they're in this relationship that they don't, is perfect. It's the perfect marriage. It's the perfect relationship. Oh my God, it's everything. And then all of a sudden, Tatiana comes out, and then they become this whole, it happened with Portia on Atlanta. And I love Portia Williams. I love her. But let's be honest, the Portia Williams that we see today, ass and titties and bouncing and twerking and all of that, was not the Portia Williams that we saw when she walked onto the scene.
True.
But my other question about that moment was, what is your take on how Candace approached Ashley in the kitchen? Because I feel like I didn't understand Candace coming at Ashley so hard when, again, just a few seasons ago, you and Candace came to Ashley about a rumor regarding Mr. Darby. And Ashley and Candace were not in the best of places.
Right.
Trying to give that. So I didn't understand why Candace went so hard on Ashley when, girl, you did the same thing to her that she just tried to do with Wendy, which is, I'm presenting it to you, trying to get clarity, just letting you know, girl, what's up?
Okay, because, Ashley and Candace are both very short. They're pageant girls. They like to fight, okay? So Ashley came, literally blew up.
Call them short. You just not just come for their height.
I mean, they're short, okay? And they both have big foreheads, okay? But we love all of that about them. So Ashley came down, she got out the truck, her driver, and she just blew up the spot. And then she was like, okay, let me get my milk. Let me get all of my milks. And then I'm going to put them in a bag and I'm going to go back home. And it was kind of like funny because it was like, Ashley, girl, you didn't cause a ruckus and you're leaving? Like, how can you leave me in this mess?
Okay. So, I did think that was shady, but I don't feel like she approached Wendy with the intention for it to go that way.
I don't either. I think Wendy was waiting for a moment to just scream at me. Because my position was, Wendy, you don't have this energy for Ashley. You don't have any of this energy for the person that just told you this information. And Wendy, girl, I thought we was friends. Why wouldn't you just pull me to the side and be like, Gizelle, what have you been saying? What has the conversation been that you and Ashley have been talking about? Like, that's grown woman stuff. She and I realized Wendy's just like, she's still in high school. She's not grown.
Gizelle, real question. How much do you put on for the camera versus how much is you not in front of the camera?
I'm the same. I'm pretty much the same.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
But and it's so funny because if you watch, I can't remember if it was season 5 or 4. At the reunion, Andy said, who has grown here and everybody was like, Karen is grown, she's made, Karen needs a name tag, she's a totally different person from when we started, but we've seen Ashley turn into a mother and everybody was like, Gizelle's the same. She's just the same. She hadn't changed at all. And I'm like, I decided to just be me on this show. Whether y'all like me or not, I'm just going to be me. And yeah, it is what it is.
Well, people have questions for the me, okay? And one of these questions does involve Jamal. Okay. So we know on the show you've been very vocal, very opinionated about the relationships that have occurred on this show. And, in all fairness, I feel like if you bring your relationship to the show, that's fair game. Like, yeah, it's fair game. But you have been known to ask a lot of probing questions about the business of the relationships pertaining to some of the other castmates. And from a viewer's perspective, it just seems like you were real tight-lipped about the relationship, or at least the rekindling of the relationship.
I don't feel that way.
Why?
Because everything that these hoes asked me, I answered. I answered them. Now, they might have not liked the answer, but every question that they asked me, I answered. The only time I didn't was when early in the season, Karen was asking me a bunch of questions, and I was like, I'm not talking to Karen. Who's a troll who goes on social media looking for lies to repeat? But, if the girls had questions about me, my relationship, what it is, what it ain't, I'm here to answer it. Like, there's no hiding here. I don't do that.
So I have a question from one of my followers. His name and wanted to ask Gizelle. He said, so I met Gizelle on a red carpet. And I was working the event. I was part of production. And I walked up to Gizelle and said, oh my God, I love you so much. Me and my wife watch your show every week. I just love you so much. And she responded to me, how can you love me? You don't know me.
I didn't say that. That's not true. He lying.
Gizelle!
Call him. I didn't say that. He lying. He's lying. I would never say that.
Well, you have a bad day, Gizelle. You never said it? Because that sounds like something that you could say.
It does. Okay. Do I put on for the camera? No. But off camera, when I meet people in the street or wherever I am never somebody that's going to be disrespectful or nasty or rude to anybody. He lying. Tell him I say he a liar. You a liar, sir.
How like his experience when she was alive.
He's lying. He is lying. Now, tell him I said it. I hope he's listening.
Oh my goodness. What can we expect from the rest of the season? And I know that you said earlier you haven't filmed the reunion yet, but what can we expect from the rest of the season? And what are you expecting going into this reunion season?
This reunion, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good in the hood. I feel like, I don't think I've done anything bad or evil or mean or nasty or underhanded. I don't necessarily love reunions just because I'm a very much a in the moment kind of person. Like, in the moment, let's hash it out, and then I'm done with it. I don't like to reunions are very much we're gonna rehash.
How long are y'all there for the reunion?
Oh, we be there from sun up to sundown, honey. We start at 6 a.m. and we do the hair and the makeup. By the time we're on the couch, it might be like 10:30 in the morning, and then we're there until we're finished. That means we could be finished at 7 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, midnight. We are there until it's done.
See, I would already have an attitude by the time I got to the couch. You go get this attitude not because I'm here all day. That's what you go get.
I mean, it is what it is, but it is a chance for everybody to just like hash it out and figure out where we go from here. As far as the season is concerned, what we haven't seen yet that is still to come. I break my toe. That's a whole nother thing. I'm injured for the rest of the season. I am injured. I'm on the injured reserve. Handicap. Huh?
How you break your toe?
I want to say it was a wild night. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't. Nothing. You're gonna find out how I broke my toe. We have a trip, and this trip is by far the worst trip we've ever taken in 6 seasons.
But it's a good television because the bad trips that are bad for y'all, it's great TV for us.
I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna pan out, but I'm gonna say worst food, worst accommodations. I left. Yeah, a mess. But good news. So you know how there's a guy we love to hate called Michael Darby. Yes, there's a new guy on the horizon that y'all gonna love. His name is Mia's husband. Okay, y'all haven't seen him in full effect yet. Y'all.
I didn't get into Mia, but I have thoughts about her and her husband. Well, we're gonna say that for another time.
No. I want to know your thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
I think Mia is fake as all hell. I think that she's messy. I think that she's trying to do everything she can to hold a place on this show. I think she's another one that came in with this whole "my marriage is perfect" and we're gonna see some crumbling things if she continues to stay on the show. I don't see. But that's with anybody. When you come on the show projecting this perfect marriage, this show is going to reveal some things about your marriage. And that just is what it is. But I honestly think that she came on the show with a vendetta to find her place and stay there. And she chose messiness to do it. But we got to wrap this up because we are coming to the end of our interview. But I do want to ask just a few more questions, rapid questions for you. What has been the biggest joy for you in doing this show?
Okay, you slipped out. What's been the what?
What's been the biggest joy for you in doing this show?
My kids. And a lot of times as a mother, especially a single mother, you can get caught up in being a single mother, meaning you're not really appreciating what you've got. And the show forced me to appreciate what I've got with my kids. Anytime I film with my kids, it's just like a memory that we wouldn't have. And it's so much fun. And so my kids are the biggest joy as it relates to this journey.
Well, Gizelle, I want to thank you so very much for fitting the Danyol Jaye Show into your busy in-book schedule. It's been a joy to talk with you. Can you let the viewers know what you have coming up and how they can keep in contact and keep in touch with what you have going on?
Okay, yes. But before I do, can we get a little song? I thought you was gonna sing to me or something like "Hello." How you doing?
You want a little song? Okay, let's see. I can give you a quick song. Gizelle Bryant, you are so great. Those green eyes of yours are heavy to slate. You know that you can bring all of the shade. 'Cause you are the queen of shade of Potomac House of Eyes.
Woohoo! Yeah! Won't he do it? Won't he do it? All right. So you can find me on Gizelle Bryant on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. And Reasonably Shady, as you know, is on iHeart. We drop a new episode every Monday, and that has been a joy. Robin is so good on the podcast. She's amazing.
She is. She really is. Honey, I cannot tell you how fun that interview was. And as y'all can see, honey, Gizelle is crazy, okay? Make sure you're following her on all social media at Gizelle Bryant, and make sure that you tune into Reasonably Shady. Every Monday, you can get it on iHeartRadio, or you can get it on any platform where podcasts are streaming. We're going to get into Hey Puddin'. Now, for those of you who don't know, you follow me on TikTok, you know that I say Hey Puddin' when I get ready to read somebody. And that has become the thing that, you know, people kind of have adjusted to. They like when I say, hey, Puddin'. So I have officially called my followers and my fans the Puddin' Crew, okay? Those are my Puddin'. And so we have a little letter from First Time Lady Lover. And she says, I met someone recently and I really like them, and they just so happen to be a woman. This is my first time dating someone of the same sex, and I just have a lot of questions and other things I'm dealing with. So if you have any resources that could help me figure this out, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you and love your work. To First Time Lady Lover, this is what I have to say to you. Enjoy the moment of the relationship that you're in. Enjoy the moment. So much of what we think about sexuality, of what we think about orientation, is constructed by society. And we miss out on great moments. We miss out on great people. If you have questions about just how to identify, if you have questions about who you are, have those conversations with the woman that you're talking to, that you're in a relationship with. Let this be a learning lesson for the both of you. You know, both of you could grow from the questions that you have. She might have some questions for you that you can answer. She might have answers for you for the questions that you have. And always, honey, Google is free. So I would suggest go to Google, go to Facebook, find some groups that are LGBTQIA plus friendly for those people who are in discovery. That's what I like to call it. People who have, you know, never dated the same sex before, but are kind of slowly making it happen. I think the most important thing is don't allow your fear, don't allow your doubt, don't allow society to strip you away from someone that could possibly be the best, most wonderful person in your life. Okay? I hope that helps you. I wish you and your new lady the best of luck. For those of you who feel like you want my advice, you want me to, give you what I got in my mind, you can send all your letters and all your questions to heypuddincrew@gmail.com. If you have a question that you want me to answer, if you have some things that you want my advice on, go ahead and email it there. And we just might pick your question and your letter to read here live on the show. We're coming to the end of our show, and I just have to say, I am so elated by the comments, by the people that are watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Danyol Jaye YouTube channel. We are going to be here live every Thursday, okay, at 9:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. To all my East Coast folks, thank you so much for staying up for me. I love every single one of you. Again, if you feel like you want to donate and be a kind monetary angel, you can go ahead and cash out me $sign at Danyol Jaye, $sign Danyol Jaye, to help support the show and the endeavors that we have moving forward. Make sure you tune in next week because I will be sitting with a father-daughter duo that is absolutely incredible. They go by Pops and Ade. 3 years ago, they stood on a stage for TED Talk to talk about their struggle and their experience with dealing with intimate sexual abuse and the work that they do in the community, the work that they are doing around the nation in addressing how families can deal with these issues better, how we can deal with intimate partner violence, how we can deal with familial violence and abuse, has just been incredible. She, Ade Nike Harris, of course, is a coach her own self. Her father, Peter Harris, is an author and a poet, and they are just amazing. So make sure you tune in next week because they will be here live, right here on The Danyol Jaye Show. Outside of that, remember this: you are marvelous and you're magnificent. But if you decide that you want to be messy, cruel, and just plain mean, do that shit in the room by yourself and don't send no fucking invites. Until next week, I'm your host, Danyol Jaye, and you've been watching The Danyol Jaye Show.